I didn't even know if that fucking song was. That is a real song, right? Mockingbird. Oh, yeah.
Have you heard? Have you heard? He's gonna buy you a mockingbird. And if that mockingbird don't sing. I'm doing both parts. Thanks, assholes.
I mean, it sounded like you had it under control.
Yeah, I mean, you're serenading us. We don't need to dive in. You had it covered, man. Such a great bit, great movie. I don't know if it's one of those things that sabotaged like a classic song. Do you think it did?
Oh, it did. I've heard it. Believe me, Clark Griswold and Mrs. Griswold doing it. It's actually superior. It's superior to the actual radio cut version.
Got you, Mrs. Griswold. What is it? You got Rusty. You got the daughter who changes every movie.
They all change every movie, and the best one was Galifianakis from Big Bang Theory and the Christmas Vacation.
Oh, that's the Christmas one, yeah.
Actually, no. Anthony Michael Hall was pretty goddamn good in the original.
Yeah, Mr. Papa Giorgio from Vegas.
Mr. Papa Giorgio.
So I was in New York City this past weekend, visiting a very near dear and friend of mine. We kind of came to grips with this whole COVID thing isn't going anywhere anytime fast, so might as well get up there and enjoy it. I hadn't been since pre-COVID, and prior to that, I mean, I was usually going up at a minimum once a year. So I'd say like about every 8 months, because I like New York. I like my friend. Put them together. It's PB&J, man. But, oh, man, we went to the Comedy Cellar. It was fucking fabulous. 5 or 6 acts. It was great. I mean, we go pretty much every time we go up, but went to the Met. Went to this place called Summit, which is, it's like 1,000 feet up, and it's kind of like all glass and mirrors and, you know, really teeters on anyone who has like, you know, sensitivity or nausea or height, fear of heights. Really fucks with you pretty good. Then we went to a jazz show, nice jazz thing later on.
Jeez, where'd you guys make out?
Hush. The adults are talking. So on the train,
it sounded very date nightish.
Oh,
it did really.
Yeah, right.
I mean, believe me, if I had a buddy who treated me to all that and they asked for a makeout session, I don't know if I could say no.
It's a good point. Yeah. Hey, I'm heterosexual, but I feel like I owe this to you. Well, the ladies were with us, so it was you know, it was partners. But on the train ride back, I'm, you know, sitting there flipping through my phone, and when I do these things, I typically go on radio silence. I watched some football, watched some playoff football. You know, other than that, we were just kind of, you know, laughing, shooting the shit, telling stories, drinking some beers. And, you know, I'm not cruising through social media. I'm certainly not looking at any like alerts that come through about major news stories. And on the train ride back, I'm like flipping through and I see tsunami. I asked Sarah, I said, did we miss a fucking tsunami? And she's like, hey, hold on. Yeah, looks like there was a big one. And it just dawned on me that when I'm in New York City and I don't hear any news. I'm not bogged down by fucking natural disasters. Yeah. I don't know. It was pleasant. Yes, it was also terrifying.
Well, you bring up something very, very serious. I noticed that, I guess when Facebook recently updated their phone app, they took away usually the time would be displayed at the top of the screen, but as you're scrolling, it goes away. It doesn't come back. So you don't know how long you've been sitting there scrolling through Facebook. So it's just like a casino now. If you log onto the Facebook app, you can just lose track of how long you've been mindlessly rummaging through nonsense and clickbaity fucking articles that exist.
Yeah.
But the fact that you didn't know there was a tsunami, isn't that kind of indicative of 90% of the world's problems now? Isn't it better just to localize our problems? A lot less to worry about if you just have to kind of think about, for you guys being down in Baltimore, maybe a little bit more to worry about than me. But what the fuck happens in Conowingo? If I could just shut it all down. What, a biker got stabbed at a local bar? That's all I got to worry about? Life's pretty good.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I get it. It's just, okay, like Hurricane Katrina or the massive tsunami in, you know, the Philippines and Thailand and stuff like 10 years, going on 15 years ago, more than 15 years ago, things like that. I just, I don't know, man. I felt a bit less human I feel like a jerk.
What? What do you mean?
Just that I just, who knows, that I was enjoying my vacation so much that I didn't realize that there were a major disaster happened and lives were lost. That's all.
Do you realize in the 1300s there was a black plague just eviscerating humanity in Europe, and the Native Americans across the sea had no goddamn idea. They didn't have any concern because they had no knowledge. They didn't care. And we were on our way 100 years later to eviscerate them with the same diseases and plagues. They were better off not knowing. Just like you were better off all weekend not knowing that there was a fucking chunk of earth that shot up through the fucking ocean and caused death and destruction, and most of the people in Tonga to death for a full 48 hours. You were better off not knowing that.
Yeah, I appreciate. I like the comparison there. It is, but I will say better off not knowing, because the conversation began with me saying, "Hey, was there a tsunami?" Yes, there was. Huh. Crazy. And just went back to Facebook. So it really wasn't, the tsunami didn't bring me black plague or smallpox or some, death or disease or suffering. So, anywho, yeah, but it was great, man. I hadn't been up New York, man. It's a lot of fun. When's the last time Murr, was the last time you there when you went with us?
Yeah. And the time before that was never. So yeah, I've only been in New York one time.
Oh.
Solid. That's about as many times as you really need to go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, once I was there for more than what were we up there? 2 days?
Yeah,
so I was there 12 hours. I felt like I drank it all. I drank it all in. And after that, I was just there with you guys. I mean, I pissed one of the third longest pisses I've ever had in the middle of a city street because there was nowhere to urinate at 2:30 in the morning, whatever time it was.
Yeah.
I had a raging hangover, and I ate at a local delicatessen, and then I went to a ball game.
Yeah, so we went up for the next to last Orioles game, Orioles game. It was the Orioles game, but it was the next to last game at Old Yankee Stadium. We figured none of us had been. Well, I think Adam at that point had been once or twice, but said, if you guys are going to get it in, we need to get it in now. This is it. Next year they're moving across the street. The stadium is almost already built. Me being the baseball guy, but what I do remember distinctly Saturday, because we went to a Saturday game. It was like 4:05 or like 3:05 start or something like that. And we definitely got it in way too hard on Friday. And Dewey was like, God, I don't know if Andrew's got it in him today. It's going to be a tough one. No, he manned up, soldiered up, got back on that horse after the game, I think. Yeah. I mean, it's wild that it's been 13 years, but hey, we've known each other a long time, man.
Yes. Yes, we have.
Sounds like a good time.
I wonder, have you been up? Have you ever been? Outside of like a class trip or something? Yeah.
Yeah, I've been up a couple times. I've seen a couple concerts at the Garden. I've seen, what did we go up there for? We went up for a soccer game, and then we were up there. Oh, we went to Dave Chappelle at Radio City.
Wow.
That was like fucking, yeah, that was awesome. Have I never told you that story?
I feel now it rings a bell. It's just maybe anytime you say I saw Dave Chappelle, at Radio City, or if I could hear it 1,000 times, I'm still saying, wow.
It just sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was when he did his like month-long like residency there.
Mm-hmm.
And that shit was wild, man. Like it wasn't just him. There was like young up-and-comers. I think that like that Indian guy, Hassan Minaj or whatever his name is, he's a newer comic, I think, opened for him. But Jon Stewart did like a tight fucking 30 minutes.
Ooh.
Which fucking like just total surprise. And that's how he did the whole residency, was like he just brought people out, like random fucking people. The only people you really knew ahead of time were him and like if there was a big music artist. So like Chance the Rapper was there the night we were there, so he did like an hour-long set. And yeah, like I said, Jon Stewart did that bit. He did fucking like an hour and a half. It was wild. Oh, John Mayer came out and played, like they were playing songs and shit together. It was fucking wild, man. It was like a variety show.
I love that like Dave Chappelle and John Mayer are like best buds. Because it's
fucking great.
Over the COVID stint out in Chappelle lives in like what, Ohio? Like
yeah.
Chappelle lives like like the whitest white man lifestyle there actually is. He lives in the country in white man land, and he had like that whole COVID residency where he had just all of his comedian buddies come up there. And apparently John Mayer, he's the bachelor for life, just lived with Dave Chappelle and like warmed up the crowd with like pleasant songs. That's where they came up with the idea for him doing that entire like 80s ballad album that he put out, which is actually critically acclaimed now as like some of the greatest music that's been created in the last 10 years. And it's completely cheesy and just void of any feeling, but it's almost like a comedic genius ripoff of an era done by one of the greatest musical artists of a generation.
You're saying Mayer's one of the greatest musical artists of the generation?
I mean, yeah, I think he might be. I don't think he's had like, I think he's going to be one of these guys. It's like what you would call a musician's musician, where
Okay.
like, dude, that guy can shred on a guitar, but
Okay.
it's just like he's never written the song. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like everybody knows who he is,
Right. I'm not
but
doubting.
he's just never written the song.
I'm not doubting the man's talent, and I'm also I'm not a fan, and that's not because like I don't like that music. It's just I wouldn't poo-poo on it. I just don't really know enough. I don't think I've listened to enough of it. I don't think I've ever heard anyone refer to Mayer as that though. That's why I asked, and I'm not doubting it.
No, I think you have listened to enough of it. I'm saying that he's never actually written like the songs that you'd want the guy of that talent level to actually have written. I mean, he's famous because he's so good, but he's never written anything good, in my opinion.
Wait a minute,
but he's that good.
This isn't the guy that just slays a lot of actresses. He's a musician too. Wow.
Yeah, he does it.
That's
I don't know
you
how to
get
explain
slay
it.
actresses like that is by singing.
Right.
You don't get to slay actors. Like even other actors don't get to slay actresses like that. Like so, that's just how it goes.
Okay.
Here, hold on. I've got a challenge for you guys, and just to try to prove my point here. Name an athlete who could be considered one of the greatest of his generation, but you're just like, he never did anything though. You know what I mean? Like he never won a championship. He never was on a winning team. Like you can look at him and be like, man, if he were in different circumstances, he'd be great, but just not.
Yeah. Do you want me to name an athlete like
Like,
that?
I'd have to think
Yeah,
about it, but there are a couple. I feel like.
I mean,
ahead.
Ernie Banks
ahead.
comes to mind. He's like one of the greatest shortstops. And he later on he went to first base, but never played in a playoff game. Now this is in like the 40s and 50s, and back then there wasn't it was one team from each league. There wasn't a playoff. There was a playoffs. It's called the World Series. That was it. So and he unfortunately was on just a lot of shitty teams. So that's the one that comes to mind. But again, maybe
Like
someone,
a Doug Flutie.
Jesus, I fucking knew the Doug Flutie was coming. God damn, dude. This is like, Alan, you know about Murr's affinity and love affair with Douglas Flutie, right?
I mean, I've heard. Yes,
That just,
I've heard tell.
yeah. You said you've heard it and you've heard it told?
I mean, well, yes. I think we may have talked about it like lightly on an episode or two, but never like. I mean, should we just do a Flutie episode? It sounds like it at this point.
I think Murr, you have some contacts back at your old radio station. You think anyone knows Flutie's people, his publicist, his agent, his lawyer? Get a hold of him.
I probably know somebody at the Nugenics lab that I could
His
get
gardener.
No, him and the Big Hurt are now pimping fake testosterone pills.
Yeah, and Flutie comes off the fucking beach with a surfboard out of the water. Yeah, and raises your bravado too.
Oh man, I haven't seen Flutie in this, but from a purely marketing and sales perspective, I love the selection. I love like almost 7 foot fucking Frank Thomas, and then like 5'4" fucking Doug Flutie.
Yep.
Like, I love the 4 Nugenics. Like,
And
for like virility powder is what the fuck it is.
they're warming up. They're at the range prior to playing golf in like pleated fucking golf slacks, and they're sitting there holding their drivers like,
The Marco Miras.
yeah, oh yeah. It's definitely a targeted at a certain demographic.
Nice.
guys who were destined to achieve more but never did. Here's your chance in middle age.
Yeah, Flutie doesn't need that stuff though, right, Murr? I mean, that's just advertising magic. Doug Flutie needs to take supplements to not have a hard on.
Exactly. I said that guy walks around rock hard.
If he wants to. Yeah.
I don't even know what to say to that.
I mean, I do when I think about him.
Yes, Alan. Murr. Did it start when he came to the Bills? It had to have. You weren't watching CFL games, right?
You were watching Boston College games?
You're watching the Calgary Barnstormers? I don't know what the fucking...
The thing is
Montreal Alouettes.
even when he was in the CFL, there was always like rumblings that some team was going to pick him up. Like he only played in the CFL to stay football ready in case the NFL called him up. And every time they did, I would like to see, Alan, maybe you can Wikipedia this for us. It's like what Doug Flutie's professional NFL football record is. It might just give you all professional because Doug Flutie's so well respected that they might fold in his CFL wins as well. But Doug Flutie's a winner.
This is under protest because I have a hunch Murr went in and tinkered with the Wikipedia page just prior to us recording.
Right,
And,
right. We know how Wikipedia works. All right. So wait, you want the NFL? Just the NFL number?
Yeah, his NFL record.
Yeah, what the NFL numbers? Let's see. NFL numbers: 12 years, 91 games played, 66 he started. So 1,177 completions, 2,151 attempts. His percentage 54.7. Total yards in his career just a tick under 15,000.
I don't care about his statistics. I want his wins. That's the only statistic that matters.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't even think it gives me a win loss. It just gives me his number.
Is this wiki? I'll do the other end. I'll just do a straight Google Doug Flutie NFL record.
Yeah, this is wiki.
And the thing about it is Doug Flutie is the first case of the NFL quarterback who, quote unquote, wasn't tall enough to play the position, but had all the skill sets needed to be a winner. And he was a winner. And I know I've told this story and I've gone on this rant several times. It's just he was a winner. For that one statistic that he was disadvantaged at, his size, is the reason they didn't let him play. But every time he played, he won. Wes, what was his NFL record?
37-28. So a winner, yes. But 22-9 at home. That's, and Buffalo. Listen, I've only been to the city once, but from what I recall, it's not the most pleasant place in the world in terms of temperatures. That one year, that 99 year, man, that was great. That was let's see here, 10-5.
I mean, 23-9 is this at home. I mean, my man was garbage on the road. We could not take my man out of fucking Buffalo.
Well, he fed off the crowd. He was an emotional player, okay? And that year, I believe what was that year? The 10-5, what'd you say? What was it?
11-5? Sorry. It was 98. It was 99 playoffs. That's where he was 7-3. But I think they won the last 6 games. That's when, what was it, Doug Johnson or
Rob Johnson? Rob Johnson, Mr. Bandana Man, went down and Doug took over, and they were actually losing at the beginning of that season. And Flutie came on and won their last 6 games, got them into the playoffs, got them to Tennessee, where the Music City Miracle happened. And Doug Flutie did not start the beginning of that game. They were losing so bad, they said, fuck it, put Doug in at halftime. Doug comes back, leads them to victory, only to have it stolen from the jaws of defeat with the fake lateral. The most amazing parallel pass that's ever been thrown across the field.
See, that's like 98, 99. So I would have been 16. And we were friendly, but I don't think we were friends. We didn't start becoming friends until I was about 18, 19-ish. But I knew who you were. I wish I had known you then, because that would have been a great opportunity to just razz you up. Be like, well, where was Flutie on that Music City Miracle? He sure ran out and tackled the guy.
Flutie on the kickoff.
Yeah, huh?
Nowhere to be found.
Hiding behind teammates.
On the sideline, the biggest play of the game.
Yeah. Didn't they? Did they come out with Flutie Flakes that season, or was that?
Well, Doug Flutie came out with his own Flutie Flakes. I'm sure he had some people behind the scenes working on it, but his kid had what was his kid? Is kid autistic or? Anyways,
something like that. Yeah.
And it was like the first celebrity guy who came like to the forefront to like talk about it, and all of the proceeds from Flutie Flakes went to, I guess, autism charities and such. He's a good guy. He's a solid man. okay, with a solid penis.
So he had like he had like season tickets or has season tickets to Red Sox games, and he made some gnarly catch of a foul ball. This is prior to the Nets going up, and they replayed it on ESPN a number of times. Well, it turns out like this is where I was like, of course he does. They asked Flutie about it a week later. He's like, "Oh man, I've caught hundreds of foul balls." I was like, "Of course you fucking have, Doug Flutie." I think he had a glove. Grown man bringing a fucking glove to a baseball game.
Gotta go barehanded.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He has caught hundreds. So anyway, welcome to the Middle Class Holes. Alan, Foxman, and Murr. Folks, we have a jam-packed show for you tonight, and we're going to go ahead and get started with our news story of the week. That's right, a family man on his deathbed reveals a shocking 50-year secret. So a gentleman who everyone, wife, child, friends, golf buddies, co-workers included, thought the gentleman's name was, it's Randell. I couldn't find the first name. Found the name Thomas Randell, who was on his deathbed, 72 years young, again, had made a nice life for himself outside the suburban Boston area, told his wife and close friends that in 1969, he was responsible for one of the largest bank robberies ever in Cleveland. Gets out of town, thinks that there's a statute of limitations, understands that there isn't, lays low. 2 years later, gets a fake name, fake social security number, gets married, sells cars. And then, there's a lot of things that are particularly interesting about this. I did have an opportunity to read the entire article, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts on Mr. Randell, who was Ted Conrad was his birth name. Later on, mysteriously, turns up outside of Boston. Voila.
Wait, I'm a little confused. Can you run that back real quick? Can I get a synopsis?
Okay, I'll break it down for you. A guy robs a bank in Cleveland, realizes there's no statute of limitations, moves to Boston, fucking burns the rest of his prior life all to the ground, starts a new life, deathbed, cancer, tells everybody he robbed the bank. No one believes him, but it's true.
Mm-hmm. Okay. $215,000, which would equate to $1.6 million today.
The fucking narcissist in me would be filled with rage that no one believes me. I would be losing my shit like probably once a day. Like fucking I'd smack people with money that I have that's definitely illegal. Like, yeah, that's probably my reaction. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I think the more impressive thing is how long he kept it a secret. Because I don't know if I could do it. I'd have to brag to somebody, like my wife at least. I don't know. Somebody. I couldn't. I don't know if I could wait till my deathbed. I mean, I respect the shit out of him for waiting. Huh?
And that's how you get caught.
Exactly. That's why this guy didn't get caught. But then if I was able to keep it a secret that long, I feel like I would be like, hey, hon, bring the recorder close to my mouth. Now, don't release this recording until my flatline screeches across that fucking medical device right there. Because then I would want the detectives to come and arrest me, but I'm already dead. That's what I'd want to have happen. Like the last laugh's on you. You wasted a plane ticket.
I think the kicker might be like, don't they get to take away the money from like your wife at that point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like now we're like, that's what I'm saying is you just can never talk about it, which I get it. Like, again, the narcissist in me is like, fuck, I can't tell anyone. But to make sure that you have that money and keep it, and your family gets to keep it, you got to keep your mouth shut.
Well, that's funny you mentioned that because they filed for bankruptcy in 2015, so 14. So,
well, that's why he didn't tell anybody that he had all this fucking money. He knew his family was going to ruin it.
Spent it.
Now, I do want to send this to our legal counsel because I'd like to bring this one up again because I do want to know what, like Alan said, what happens to the money. Like, let's say now I've confessed, but now, let's see. Maybe he fucked up by confessing. Maybe he should have left it a little more like open-ended, like I may have robbed this bank. But because remember the whole Aaron Hernandez thing? Like there was some rule that if he died before his trial, like his family still got all of his money. So because he was never actually technically found guilty of a crime. So this guy's never went to trial, so he's never actually found guilty of robbing the bank. Maybe he was just blabbing his mouth on his deathbed. So you can never prove it because he's dead. So they couldn't take the money away from his family. So I don't know. I do, like Alan said, that's the only thing that may have stopped me from telling everybody. But at this point, isn't this on his family? Because he just told his family that he robbed the bank. He didn't like call up Detective Duty and be like, "Hey, Detective Duty, I'm the one who robbed the bank back in 1974. Ha ha ha! I'm dead. Bye." And, you know, like he didn't do that. And then his dumb wife is like, "Yeah, my husband's a great bank robber who got away with it. Now they're gonna come steal your house."
You have the number for Detective Duty?
Was it 1974? Was that the year?
No,
I don't know.
68 or 69 is when he did it. 19. Now I found it like interesting. 1970, he basically starts taking on this new identity. I listen. I believe it or not, I wasn't born or alive in 1970. Only the early 80s. But I thought stuff like that in the United States, even then, was extremely difficult.
Nah. No, see, that's you know, when people always used to be like, when was America great? Fucking that was probably a time when you could rob banks and just get away with it. That was probably a time when America was great. But fucking no, man, it's amazing how much technology has improved, not only in like the last 100 years, but in the last like 25. Like, yeah, now it's physically it's impossible to rob a bank. You ain't robbing banks and not getting caught. It's
not even
legitimately impossible. But then
it's not even. But like, it's not even that it's impossible. It's just implausible. Like there's probably. I feel like bank vaults are just there for like show. Like, yes, we have money. It's not in there. I mean, it's on the computer. But like, but if we had it, it'd be in there. Like, I don't know what's in a bank anymore. Like, there's no like real cash transactions. I think if you want to like take out more than $10,000, you have to literally call the bank like days in advance and be like, "Hey, I'm going to come down and I'm going to get $10,000 cash." And they got to be like, let me call the Dunbar guy real quick because they don't have it in house. Yeah. So I don't even think a bank would have $200,000 cash in it. Maybe by the end of the day on a Friday, like on a 15th or the 1st, but that's it. Like, there's no money in banks, no cash.
Yeah. No, they don't keep money like that anymore. I think there's safe deposit boxes, right? And do people even use those things? I mean, the answer to that is yes. But surprisingly, having worked at a call center for some credit unions, a lot of people have safe deposit boxes. But you're right, they don't carry cash anymore. It's total bullshit.
A couple things that I found particularly interesting about this. Two things. One, the federal agent who was tasked, U.S. Marshal, with hunting down Mr. Conrad, a.k.a. Randley, was particularly butthurt about the fact that they couldn't find him, and even after he retired, continued to keep his like ear to the grindstone and get tips on whether or not he was being, you know, if there's any hot leads, any leaks, things like that. Another one was a lot of his buddies and closest to him said he was suspiciously tight-lipped about his past. Never mentioned, you know, siblings, his parents. Said he didn't like to talk about it. You know, and for God, man, that's a long time with no backstory. You know, like it's like someone Christ, someone married him and loved him enough to fuck him and procreate, and they were like, you know, he doesn't talk about his mom very much. Matter of fact, never met her. Didn't find it suspicious at all that they're all dead, or he doesn't talk to any of them anymore. Just came out here to be with me.
But again, we're talking about somebody who was probably like in their 20s in like the 1970s. Yeah. And yeah, it was just a different era. Like, yeah, you know what? Everybody in that time, from that time, is willing to let it go. Like, oh, you don't want to talk about it? No. Okay. Like, that's it. Now we got to get all deep and dirty with our feelings. Like, but you're not opening up to me. Yeah, because I don't fucking want to. Like, you can't. You have to. There's no not wanting to anymore. You have to talk about your feelings now.
Because I robbed the bank, you dumb bitch. That's why. God, there you have it.
All right. Well, there's chicken and dumplings in the kitchen. Have a beer. Watch some football. Gotcha. We won't even talk about it later. Okay.
Never talk about it.
You robbed a bank? What the hell were you living in this filth for? This shitty home.
Exactly.
God.
That's the one thing I'd be pissed about if I was like, we filed for bankruptcy, Dan. Remember that? Remember when we filed all that paperwork that we to not lose our house? The fuck did you do with this money? I wonder what he did do with the money. Or is there another little detail the wife's leaving out about the coffee can in the backyard, 15 steps from the fucking porch? Maybe that's a small detail she hasn't fucking unveiled yet.
Yeah, a little, what do they call that? Something nest egg.
That's true. I hope that's a sound clip.
Yeah, I'll edit that in there. Yeah, man. But and it's weird too because like it's almost some of those movies do this really well where it's people. Okay, I respect what this guy did, but I kept trying to remind myself that the fucking bastard robbed a bank. He stole money. He's a criminal, and they would like romanticize the fact that like he came out to Boston, started a new life, never spoke of it. We're congratulating him now. Man made off with $200,000. He just did it to impress his friends, and look at him. Achievements.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't one of those crimes where I really look down on. Like, I don't really look down on bank robbers. I'm not like, look at that low life, like a pedophile. You know what I mean? Fuck it, man. Good job, actually. I'm impressed.
Okay.
But did you see how he robbed it? He actually worked at the bank, and like I think he stole it and still worked at the bank, and then finally was just like, "All right, guys, I don't think I want to work here anymore." And then he left, and he had $200,000. Like he did it right under their noses. Like, you guys aren't keeping good books or doing any inventory on the cash that you have in the safe, so I'm just gonna leave now. Toodaloo. I can't. So I don't really feel like you hurt anybody.
The investigative process internally at that bank had to be shitty. They sat everyone down and asked if they robbed it. Yes or no? No. All right. I believe.
I mean, I feel like that's fair though. That makes the most sense. Like, you don't just like rob a Best Buy. You know what I mean? You get like a cashier job, and then you fucking take a PlayStation 5, and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's a slow burn. You can't. Even then, you had to play your cards right. And then live forever off 200. That 200 grand's gone.
Yeah. Well, then he worked. He sold cars. He was a car dealer. They gave the name of the what
used cars or new?
It's certainly pre-owned. Is probably.
He seems like a used car guy.
But from a personal standpoint, like if I had like some fuck you money, and I always say this, like whenever the lottery gets up to like, like hundreds of millions of dollars and I buy my 2 tickets and I'm like, okay. And I'm doing my little fake prayer. Like, all right, God, listen, I don't need to win the full $320 million. I just need 2. Can you just shave me off 2? Can I get 4 numbers right? Come on. That's all I want. I don't need to be greedy. I just need a little fuck you money. I just need to be able to like say, I still need to go to work because I need purpose. Otherwise, I will just end up like dead on my couch with like reruns of Hoarders coming on TLC. That's how my life will end. So I just need enough money to keep working for 20 years, but be able to take amazing vacations and then not worry about my kid's future. That's all I need. And that's what that guy got. That's what that guy got. So I respect him for that. He wasn't wildly greedy for a guy who robbed the bank. Hey, he robbed the bank. It's fucking it's romantic.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to rob a bank and then live a fucking low lifestyle as a middle-aged man in Boston.
Right?
Yeah.
The pinnacle.
Good for him. Good for him. He just passed away. That's how we found out about this. So I bet condolences to
good for him.
Condolences to his family.
But he got away with it. I mean, that's all you can ever hope for. He got away with it.
Yeah, maybe that's the romanticized part of it that's endearing. He did. He was the movie. You could make him. Christ, there's writers in Hollywood right now who are already pen to paper on this fucker, thinking who they can cast, how can they make it, based on a true story. There's got to be some conflict in there. This guy just played golf and sold. I looked it up. It was Land Rovers and Volvos. I didn't say used or new, Alan. I didn't get to the bottom of that one.
Land Rovers and Volvos? So specific. And weird.
But the way they'll end it, though, is that fucking cop who retired will figure it out, and then on his way to Boston, as he walks through the fucking hospital room door, that's when he'll take his last breath and like, that'll be the ending.
Well, that guy died too. So, but again, Hollywood can make this stuff, workable. Make it fun.
They die together.
That's right. You're under arrest. Oh, well, congratulations. All right. Back. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've had something from the Q Report. But hey, folks, don't sleep on the Q Report. Well. What the hell?
It's a gate. The earth is flat, hollow. Space is fake. You're part of the cabal, man.
The Q Report.
Beautiful. Gets him every time.
It is truly always the Tom Green part.
That's right. So,
and I think because it's perfectly timed with space is fake.
that's still a good bit. But okay, so
one day I'll get professional and not giggle at the intro to the Q Report.
All right, I figured we hadn't played it in a while, so I wanted to get you with it.
It's not today. So guys, we're gonna keep it nice and simple. I want to drop a little piece of knowledge, and then I want to just talk about it today. We're just going to see where this takes us, because we're getting to the drinking Kool-Aid in like Ecuador portion of the QAnon segment, and or Guyana or wherever the hell it was. So yeah, there it is. It's in South America. So look. This is past Thursday, a week from today, a week ago today. Our main man Trump had a rally in Arizona. Big old rally, thousands of people. There's a little controversy after the rally. We could talk about that. Mm-hmm. But the big controversy that had QAnon, Telegram, all aflutter, was that Trump wasn't there, man. JFK was being the body double for Donald Trump at the Donald Trump rally. And they definitely think it's going to be a Trump JFK ticket for 2024.
Hold on.
Okay.
Which JFK? The 107-year-old JFK?
104-year-old JFK. Old JFK. Okay.
Wait, gotcha. So hold on. I thought that there was some division amongst the conspiracy theorists. There were some that said it was just a straight up Don Trump body double, and there were some that said, because there was an and or in there, Don Trump body double, or it was JFK Jr. as Trump.
No, so I didn't. Maybe the article was slightly different, but yeah, the ones that I read mostly were lean toward the JFK was the body double for Trump at this Arizona rally. And so I think the bigger part of it is, so you remember our friends, we talked about the whole JFK and JFK Jr. thing in Dallas. Mm-hmm. There's a gentleman kind of spearheading this, we'll call him a sect of QAnon, that's all about this JFK stuff. His name is like Michael Protzman or Mark Protz, something like that, something along those lines. This guy is like the spearhead of the JFK Trump collaboration in QAnon. And my man has become quite the VIP at these events. He was like on stage with Trump and his colleagues. He's got the inner ear of the Trump organization, which is even more concerning, I think, than we laugh about the general overall hilarity of the JFK coming back to life and body doubling Donald Trump. Where are we going with this, guys? What's the end here?
I just don't get I don't get the benefit.
Where's space?
Because yeah, I know. Is this? Sometimes a claim like this leads to some sort of something. I'm failing to see what something that this leads to, unless it's just a more rah-rah Trump Jr. 2024 ticket. But the one I was reading, because I was getting perplexed at the fact that, okay, a Trump body double, I get it. It's a dude who fucking looks like Donald Trump. Okay, but like, why couldn't they leave? if you say leave good enough alone, that implies the word there was anything good about it. But why leave that alone and have to throw the junior part into it? Can't they let that one die? Figuratively.
And literally, because that's what happened. I think I'm so perplexed, Alan, is because multiple reasons here. One, it's fucking ridiculous. I kind of let me finish my sentence before you jump on me here. I quasi stuck up for these January 6 twats because of the way information has been passed, and if they really thought this guy Q was a real insider and thought that their country was being stolen from beneath them, in a way I could see their patriotic notion was to try to take over the Capitol and stop all of this nonsense from happening. I felt like that they were dumb people making a rational decision from a dumb standpoint. But now I'm just, if this is real, like these people really believe like the nonsense that you just said, like, and they're part of the political process, I don't know. I don't, like Wes said, if it was just a body double there, and that's more plausible. Do I think that Donald Trump has enough money in reality to actually hire a body double to go out and give his speech for him? No, I don't. Like, this is sounding like Saddam Hussein bullshit. But then to say that JFK Jr. is wearing a Donald Trump skin suit, or even JFK, 104 years old with a fucking bullet hole through the back of his fucking brain stem, is fucking wearing a skin suit of Donald Trump to give fucking shitty speeches. Like, that's... I don't know.
I think you brought up, I think what would be the major concern is that, like, we've spent the last year and a half, 2 years being like, ha ha ha, these guys, they're crazy. But, like, these JFK ones are super crazy. Like, something's going to happen there. It's going to be an event. And we're going to be like, see, we told you that was coming. But you mentioned a thing of like these people getting into government and politics, and they very much are. They very much are running for congressional seats and fucking state Senate seats and things of that nature, where like, run for a congressional seat. Honestly, I don't care, because we see the Matt Gaetzes and the Marjorie Taylor Greens who aren't effectively doing anything in Congress except just being a pain in the ass. I kind of would take that over like you becoming your county comptroller, because I think you could do a whole lot more damage to your community if that's the way you're going with things. And so I think that's the part that you brought up that concerns me more than anything, other than like our laughs and ha-has at them, is that like some of these people are your friends and neighbors, and they're starting to be like, you know what I should do? Fucking be on the education board, and they should not.
Well, yeah, and because I feel like on the flip side of that playbook is, well, again, if you go to Twitter and you go to the libs of TikTok, yes, they have infiltrated your county commissioners boards and your fucking your education system, and yeah, it's becoming a problem. I do think it would be a bigger problem if these people do win congressional seats, which they actually have a chance of doing. But I think the thing that concerns me the most, guys, is that we're in the wrong business. We could create some of the greatest grifter schemes of all time, but we're wasting our talents talking about these morons who are actually putting their feet to the ground. In a way, I'm jealous. I'm jealous of the QAnon anonymous posters who are gaslighting these assholes because they're working and they're winning.
You've got a point, my friend, because I know we've brought this up before, and you know, I will sell myself for some money. So like, I was perusing as I was doing some research the last couple of days. There's a lady that I follow who I believe she lives in Maryland. I haven't deduced it. I think I might have brought her up to you before, but she goes to DC every day and just walks around like the Capitol building and the White House and just videotapes and just kind of points out. She's like, look at how the flagstaff's bent a little to the left. That means fucking Biden's body doubles in the White House today. And like, it's just fucking absolute shenanigans. But she's got thousands of followers. And like yesterday she was like, hey guys, Does anybody know a good mechanic? Blah, blah, blah. My car's acting up. Still going to D.C., though. Got to uncover the cabal. Fucking. And thousands of comments being like, oh, send us your Venmo. Send us your P.O. box. We'll send you money. And somebody was like, I'm sending her a money order this afternoon. It's like, I don't know why I slip into that voice, but that's what I assume is happening. And, dude, these people are going to, like, buy her a car. Okay. Oh, all right, man. Fucking, there is a fucking child sex trafficking ring out of the taco shop down the fucking block in the basement that Hillary Clinton definitely went to with fucking Pierce Morgan. And yep, that's it. I'm sticking by it. I'm running with it. Let's go. This is the new fucking Middle Classholes podcast. We're fucking grifters now.
Okay, all right. Rather than just be pure grifters, I'm pitching something to you guys right now. Let's grift for the show. Alan, you're going to create a Twitter account.
Okay.
We're going to collaborate on stories that we feed to these people. Then we're going to get them to Venmo us money. And then we're going to talk about we will have weekly reports on how much money we were able to grift based on how ridiculous of a tale we told to these morons. That's what I'd like to do.
All right.
I'd like to create storylines and sagas around the political genre in order to see how many people we can gaslight. And then we'll do the right thing before it gets too big. We'll let them know we're full of shit. And then we'll start another grift.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Okay.
Totally.
I like this a lot more because the way we had talked about it in the past was just totally facelifting the Middle Classholes into a fake QAnon driven podcast. I
will order a Mac cat.
I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind dangling the carrot a little bit just to prove to me that this is like a viable option. So, Alan, Twitter account tomorrow, and
Okay.
let's start getting this rolling moss to gather stone. All right.
I think I'm going to spend all day tomorrow just writing down Twitter names.
Okay. No, do that. And I think we need to come up with like a strategy. Like, who are we? Are we a cousin of a high political figure? Are we a son? Maybe a child of a high-end congressional member that's on a board, and dad talks a lot at dinner because he drinks a few and has to get it off his chest.
Why?
Like, we have to know insider secrets, but we can't know all the secrets. And so that way we can kind of hypothesize on what these secrets mean.
I got a name, Ted Conrad, bank robber from Cleveland.
Ted Conrad does sound like a fun. He does sound like Ted Conrad sounds like if he's on like Fox News, it just says like R Oklahoma next to his name. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's Ted Conrad.
That's right. Okay, that's the route we're going, Alan. Let's get the ball rolling on that. So any more thoughts?
Fake congressional candidate.
Yeah. So I did. By the way, from the one that this is from Newsweek, it said, the person they saw was actually a body double or even JFK in disguise. So that's where I got it. And I don't like the body double of Trump. Okay. I mean, what is it? Does Trump just not want to do these things, full time? So he sends a body double to go out and speak, because people talked about his gestures being weird. He wasn't talking with his hands. His voice was a little deeper, sounded nervous. Side profile looked different. He didn't pause and inhale a lot, which I suppose he does. I didn't even know that he does that. But these are people who have
if you know the breathing and word vomit cadence of your dear leader, you might be in a cult.
Yeah.
But no, I don't get it either, man. Like, I've seen hypotheses that some of them have, and they're like, he's at the military tribunals in Guantanamo, so he had to send a body to everything you could possibly think of.
Right.
Like that. That's always the thing, is like, you can't get too deep under the surface, because then it derails. They don't really have anything. They're just still moving goalposts.
Right.
Being like, going to happen.
Or maybe because of supply chain issues that are currently happening in America, Trump can't get his fingers on his European Sudafed, which is riddled with amphetamine. And so maybe he's just not as juiced up as he has been in the past.
That's a good point.
That could be. and he's almost 80 years old. So maybe he's slowing down just a tick.
tick.
Maybe not as slow as old Joe, but maybe he's just not the chump of. Maybe he's lost a little vigor. Maybe he's looking at old DeSantis down in Florida and like, I may not be able to beat this guy. So maybe I should just start to tank it now.
Well, I will say on the more serious note, those people like who work around him who aren't in the White House now, so they're definitely leaking shit to like other news networks are like, yeah, my man is unstable at the moment. There's a lot of legal dealings happening that he is concerned about. And so, I mean, I guess I could get the logic of being like, oh, he's exhausted, but we can't stop the grift. We got to pay these legal fees. We got to get that rally money.
Right.
So they send him anyway. Like I could see that logically and plausibly, but I also think he's too much of a narcissist to not go get fucking sucked off by like 20,000 Arizonans. You know what I mean? In a desert, in just in the desert, and then lock them in. Yeah. When they start to leave a little early.
Well, I do want to get to that, but you hit the nail on the head with the narcissism point, because Trump, according to him, and I've seen montages where no one knows or does things better than him. No one knows better than me. How, the narcissism would just cause him to have a panic attack if he understood that someone was trumping Trump more than Trump, body double or not. Like, wait, no, this is not going to work. You're doing it all wrong.
Or, on the flip side of that, I can believe that it's a body double because I could also believe that Don has other things to worry about. So he actually had sit-down auditions for someone to portray himself. And then this is the guy he signed. Hey, this guy does me about as good as me. Not as good as me. Nobody does me as good as me. But this guy's pretty good. He's almost as good as me. He's a step below me, but he's about as good as me. I can see that too. So I can see it being a body double. Mm-hmm. However, I cannot see it being JFK, a dead man, or JFK Jr., another dead man. And I don't know why. I don't know why these people have to go a step beyond.
Yeah.
Like, I believe the earth is flat before I believe it's any of the other nonsense that Alan spouted off at the beginning of the segment.
Right? Like, stick with that stuff. Like, that's what I'm saying is these conspiracies have just gotten a little... Look, I'm all for a good conspiracy theory. I will fight you tooth and nail that Bigfoot exists. But 104-year-old corpse of JFK getting up on that Arizona stage and fumbling around fucking as Donald Trump, not happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as Trump, pulled like Mission Impossible, had to throw on the old the thing over his face. Looking good, looking all Trump-like, coming out and then talking. I guess that, they said the side profile was weird.
Well, that's what, like, and then, like, a lot of them, like, were like, see, he had his peacoat collar up, and they were like, yeah, well, it gets, like, 10 degrees in the fucking desert in January, you cocksuckers. And he was like, I'm going to load you into this desert and fucking speak to you like a prophet. And they were like, yep, we're paying for that. Yeah. Sign me up, baby.
And then they try to leave. And he locks the gates. Isn't that a fire hazard?
It's definitely a problem of some sort. I don't know. It's probably a fire hazard, but it was like he locked like the gate to the parking lot. Like if like Nissan Pavilion was like, nah, I can't leave yet. Mm-hmm. I think that's what happened. But from all of the firsthand videos I saw, man, the Freedom Brigade was up in arms about their freedom being taken from them and the inability to leave. Some guy was like, I gotta go to the bathroom, but there was no porta potties. Like, the firsthand videos of it are fucking pure gold if you haven't seen any.
God, I can't imagine like some of these go-hards at a Trump rally not having fucking bolt cutters in their trunk. I mean, one of these fucking people had to have some sort of measure to snap a master lock and some like a chain tied some of these some of these gates together. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck you. Done with this.
The thing is like when you herd sheep, once you establish a container, a barrier, a containment line, they don't tend to stray from that too often. Maybe a straggler here or there. So I think what you have is just classic sheep behavior. They were penned in. There was nowhere to go. Just complains. Lots of bass.
I'm gonna get on the hotline. Go
I
over
just think
this.
it's wild, man. He was like, "Oh, you're gonna leave. You're gonna leave before me. You're gonna beat the rush. I am the fucking rush. Stay in the fucking parking lot."
You're gonna listen to me and my pillow guy after me, all right? God damn it!
The My Pillow guy.
Oh well, folks. All right, so we got some work to do. We're gonna make a new Twitter handle, and we're gonna get on top of what did you call it, Murr? What's the term you guys were using? What's that buzzword?
The what? Grift?
Grift. Yeah. We're gonna start grifting. That's what I was.
I guess
that's
it
what I
is a
was getting
buzzword these days.
at. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is. I just look. We just got to find. It seems like that market is ripe for the tapping still. If they're willing to believe that a man who sleeps with the fishes and a guy whose brain is on the table in Dallas in a jar full of formaldehyde is taking over the body of a former president, then I think that they're ripe for the taking, and I don't mind taking their money.
Right.
Yeah.
Man,
No.
I have this conversation with my wife, and she's like, "I just couldn't do it," and I'm like, "Well, I could,
Yeah.
sweetheart."
This is we have brought this up on the show before. I despise people who are mediums who say that they can talk to dead ones, dead relatives, and people who are very desperate to understand and just want some answers from someone that they love dearly, and that brings them some comfort. And first, it's a two-way street. These people are morons for handing these people money, but I do think that these charlatans who are yip-yapping about like, oh, I gotta, your Uncle Ronnie, he says that he loves you, and then he's got some money. This I don't feel so bad about. If people are going to give us money for this, I'm cool with it. I'm on record.
It's totally worth it.
Yeah.
I want to save the earth with a Tesla.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get a Tesla.
See,
Fair enough.
we need to get Tesla money, and the way is to grift.
Exactly.
Grifting.
Take it from the people who burn all that fossil fuel.
Yeah, and
Let's
we have
money for-
like we probably aren't presented with like a ready-made population to grift like we are right now. We're in a prime position, is really what I'm saying. Like nature is saying, "Here, guys, eat for forever. This is plentiful garden. Harvest as much as you can."
Right. Oh, shit. Okay, folks, we'll look out for that Twitter handle, spread the word, and give us your money. All right, Mr. Murr, I think it's time for OMG Facts.
That's right, my friends. It is time for 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday, of course, brought to you by a grifter group as good as the rest, the Shin Splints Recovery Group. You can find them on Facebook if you have any pain below the knee and above the ankle. The Shin Splints Recovery Group is a nonsense medical. Is it a medical group? How would it be? How has it not been shut down by the misinformation Nazis that are Facebook? But they're there. So you head on over and you visit them. The Shin Splints Recovery Group on Facebook. OMG Facts. It's time for Fun Fact Friday. Did you know the U.S.-Canadian border is the longest border in the world without a military defense?
I didn't know that, but if you had asked me that question, I probably would have that's probably what I would have said. I probably would have been if that's an SAT question, I'm bubbling in that one.
Yeah.
Now, if it's multiple choice, or you would have brought it up off the top of your head.
I would have thought about it for 60 seconds to 3 minutes, anywhere between 1 to 3 minutes, going over my my geography brain, figuring out long borders, who are also, allies. That comes to mind. Like Ireland, North Ireland, that may not have, I may not have thought about that one. United States, Canada, you bet.
Yeah. No, I guess it can't be like, yeah, I knew it outright. Like, yeah, definitively. But like Wes said, like if you had asked this question at like bar trivia, I'd have been like,
right.
Yeah, probably that.
Yeah,
So,
you know what? It just goes to show you that, if you're just friends with America, everything's fine. Just stop fighting it, okay? Just stop fighting it. Just kneel before us and just give up your rights and your arms. Like, we'll let you run yourself if you want to, We can do it for you, but just fall in line and everything will be fine. Think about that, though. And in all honesty, no military defense. That means that there's literally just a line, invisible line, a guy in a red suit that says a lot. That's the only thing preventing like anything from going in and out of the two countries. That's amazing.
That is.
That it's a positive thing. Like if you are with us, then you're not against us, and that's all you need to know.
Yeah, and Canadians, I mean, they made a movie about how, I guess, unthreatening the Canadians are. So you threw John Candy and Dan Aykroyd into the goddamn film. I mean, that's buzzwords all over. That's buzzworthy actors. You made a great point. Former roommate of mine, Jake, history buff, and majored in history in college. We were talking about Gaddafi. And, but he was killed. He was killed, what, like 7 or 8 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, or something like that. But
I don't know. When did Hillary fuck everything up? When was that?
Yeah, that's a good point. But he was talking about Gaddafi's dictator habits, or just, his habits in terms of like governing in general. And then talking about how he, this is his relations with the United States. And he's like, well, and then this just goes to show you, and it's been this way for hundreds of years. If you don't play nice with the United States, they will get the last word. That's it. Yep. Bottom line, bud.
You will get raped with a knife in the street if you don't play ball with the U.S.
Yeah.
Like it or not. That's the way it is.
There's plenty of prime examples. Middle East, Central Africa, all of Central and Northern South America. We're pretty good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're really good at it. Look, here's the thing, though. We're fair. We're fair when you agree. If you disagree,
that's right.
The fairness isn't on your side.
We're a lot like an authoritarian regime, but for the world, not just like at home,
Do you think like the ambassador to the UN walks in there thinking like, I run this fucking, not the UN ambassador, the United States ambassador at the UN. You think they walk in that thing like, yeah, I mean, our vote is like 10 votes pretty much.
I think they have to act like they don't.
Okay.
Yeah. Cause you can't you got guys like fucking Putin and you know what I mean? They're egomaniacs too. You can't be set like,
yeah, but that's not, they're not Putin's not a UN ambassador. I'm talking about at like the actual.
Oh, like just the ambassador?
Yeah.
Maybe, but still probably not.
Okay.
You got to kind of walk on eggshells around the crazies. You know what I mean? You can't let nuclear armed fucking guys like get all ego bruised.
Right.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that like the guy from New Guinea like goes and grabs everybody coffee. I'm pretty sure that is how that happens. But I mean, look, okay, listen, I love America. I do think that we are still a shining light on the hill. Do I think we do some shady things in the dark? Yeah, absolutely. Yes, we do. But you don't get to have the brightest light if you don't have the darkest dark. Okay? So
the light might be flickering. But that's all. It's still up there and on the hill.
Yeah, okay. Maybe the bulb needs changed, okay? But thankfully we do change that bulb every 4 years. So there's still a chance. There's still an opportunity. We need an LED in there. We're still
we have not been rolling with LEDs. So I think we supply chain issues have caused the last couple light bulbs to be those just crappy old ones.
They're questionable. They're questionable incandescent light bulbs. They are definitely questionable incandescent light bulbs.
Good point.
I do believe, and this is the beauty of America, that an efficient LED is on the way. Hopefully.
Being made in Japan.
Possibly. Outsourced. Yes.
Fun fact, I got a new putter. Guess where it's coming from?
China?
Yep.
Is it like a cheating one? It butts for you?
It putts for me. That's right. That's how I already know that I'm not going to shoot over 85 next summer.
I bought it and my handicap went down 10 points.
I'm a 2 now.
That's funny.
Did you know Egyptians were the first to wear glitter, which was composed of crushed beetle shells?
Say that one more time. I kind of semi-blacked out there.
Egyptians were the first to wear glitter, which was comprised of crushed beetle shells.
Ew, God, they say fucking beauty. Beauty is a lot of things. I would do paint is beauty if, usually after a broad gets waxed, but I don't know what you'd consider this. Beauty is disgusting. I don't know.
Yeah, I would get this trivia question wrong. So I'm a nerd and I watch like history stuff, and I was watching some Egypt stuff, and there was you bringing up the crushed beetles like rings a bell. Like they said something about doing something with crushed beetles, but I would not have been able to be like, it's glitter makeup. I would have thought it was like a potion, some sort of potion. I don't know why Egyptians are now sorcerers. Or like,
I feel like a potion is much more complex than just crushing up like exoskeletons of beetles that have died in the sun.
So, I mean, what do you like? You figure like one stomped on one, smeared it, saw it on the on the ground, and was like, "Wow, that would look cool on my face." That's a historical rendition of what happened.
Well,
Bootsy the Iceman.
Well, it's just that there's been this age-old thing for humans to be fabulous, like there just is. There's like this age-old, I don't know, like to adorn ourselves in ridiculous things. Mm-hmm. And to, honestly though, crushed beetle shells is probably better than whatever actual glitter is.
That's
I don't know what glitter's made of.
And spoiler alert, we have a bit coming up about glitter. Yuck. That's I kind of think why you picked this. But yeah, you're probably right. Crushed up beetle shells is probably more friendly towards your complexion, skin, whatever, than the fucking 30,000 ingredient thing that you buy off of fucking Amazon, jam in your face, and you sniff it, and you get all crazy.
What kind of glitter do you
That took a turn. Yeah.
Sorry. But no, actually, that brought up a good memory of my childhood. Do you remember when Michael Jackson was doing like video premieres on network television? It was usually after like a Super Bowl. Yeah. This was the Do You Remember the Time premiere. Do you remember?
And that wasn't Eddie Murphy in that?
He was.
And it was set in Egypt? Yeah.
Yeah. And my father kept yelling about how historically inaccurate it was. And it was just blasphemous how they were letting Michael Jackson get away with what he was doing. I think my mom like peeked her nose out from over the book and said, "Shut up. It's a music video. Let it go." It's a fucking history class.
Oh, I can just see your dad getting indignant about the worst example possible.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Did you know the world's termites outweigh the world's humans by 10 to 1?
So you weigh all the world's humans, all 7 some odd billions of us. You get a number.
Yes.
Multiply that by 10. That's how many. That's the termite count.
That's termites.
Whew. God, that's how'd they come to that? Where they fucking do a little sample sizing?
I guess they know how many termites are within a square mile on average, and then you just multiply it by the square mileage of the world, and that's your number.
Right.
And there's been a lot of talk, about replacing insects with our main source of protein.
Yeah.
And if you did that, there's no starvation. And that's why, and I actually heard Elon Musk on another podcast talking about like, there's not a deficiency in food. There's just a deficiency on the way to deliver the food, which is why I didn't give the $6 billion.
Yeah. Again, bringing up my old roommate again, Jake, history guy. He did say if you get to about somewhere between 12 and 13 billion people worldwide, people are just going to have to start eating insects. I mean, that's just, there's not enough cows, chickens, fish, and whatever else in the world to go around. You're going to have to start putting that into your diet, which I hope I'm gone by that day.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I had a survivalist in to do an interview years ago, and he brought in like mealworms. they were okay. I know Fritos are already greasy, but these were like greasy Fritos. Like they tasted like Fritos, like with no seasoning at all, like fresh out the can, squirming around, chomp, chomp, chomp.
Yeah.
Good. Like not bad, like good, tasty. Like I honestly, I would have them again. If you gave me a plate full of them and I had nothing else to eat, I'd be like, all right, fine. I'll fork them in.
Okay. I can get into that. I guess it's just like, I've heard stories about people out on like survivalist hikes, like meaning I'm going out for 7 days purposely trying to live off the land, and have gotten like a tapeworm from fucking eating a grasshopper. Now, hopefully the FDA or whatever other organization is vetting these things will lead me down the right path and say, yes, you can and can't eat that. But, I guess you could get bad processed meat or pork or something like that. You can, right? You can get parasites and...
Yeah. How do you think anybody in America gets food poisoning? Because that happens. I got food poisoning at a restaurant once by eating a burger, and I shit my pants for like 7 days straight. Had a headache for 3 of them.
Okay, I'm not saying that's not bad, but I read a story about a guy who caught lightly flame grilled a grasshopper on a stick, and then said he had a tapeworm that was about a foot that he pulled out of his rear end.
Well, let's say he didn't cook it enough.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
You gotta cook it up, man. Yeah, anything raw, like if you're just picking up live grasshoppers and eating them, I mean, you're running a little bit of a risk at any point in time there. That's what fire's for. That's what cooking's for. You gotta cook off all those fucking bad things that could kill you. It's no good.
All right. Okay.
Well, if you go back, with Fear Factor, when they ate all those insects and shit, like they said they had to have experts come in and like when they ate those like I don't know, like those African hissing cockroaches or whatever. Those they were grown. Like they weren't just like wild. Yeah. Like these guys like bred these things, raised these things, fed them like shit. Like they were isolated cockroaches so that the contestants did not get sick. So you know how fast it would take to grow like enough crickets for us to actually eat in a laboratory? Like those things like are like full grown in 7 days, and then you just fucking fry them.
Just keep
them a little chocolate.
Start making them into fucking like put them in Spam cans.
The men enjoy dinner. Ladies get the cockroaches and they doll themselves up. Sounds like a good win-win,
right.
Yeah. Hold on, Alan. Are you saying you're down with eating insects?
I mean, yeah, I'll eat some insects.
Okay.
I don't care.
All right.
I'll try anything once for the most part.
Goldfish?
That's how I work with food. Yeah, I've tried one of those.
That was a hazing thing.
I think it digested well. I'm not gonna lie.
Was it alive?
Yep.
Was it alive when you ate it?
Yes, it was.
And you didn't puke it up?
I tried. It didn't want to come.
Yeah, that was the old. The trick was to eat one alive and then pull the trigger and have it come out alive.
It'd be a miracle.
It was the Fishmas miracle.
A Fishmas miracle.
I know it's an inside joke, but I get it. Did you know the colder the room you sleep in, the better chances are that you'll have a bad dream?
Weird. No, I didn't know that. I sleep in a lot of cold rooms, though. So
this is something to be said about.
Before you speak, Wes.
Yeah.
This is OMG facts.
Right.
Okay. There's no more details.
Gotcha. No, I was going to say. I guess there's something to be said about being warm and cozy. That's what I was going to say. Ass fuck. All right. I hope you sleep in a cold room tonight and have fucking nightmares about cockroaches and eating them.
But no, I would feel like it has to, like you said, it has to do with probably being uncomfortable. Maybe your body wants to wake you up so you can find a more comfortable location. Like, hey, this ain't cool, man. This ain't good. Get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. No, sleep's a funky thing in general because you can't, you can, I know that they've done research on sleep in a variety of different ways, but you can't put someone's like like mind on a probe and then set it up to a monitor. Be like, oh, we're gonna get a firsthand glance at what this person's dreaming about via this probe. I mean, it's wild. Why? No, I didn't know that. My why would be what you just said. Yeah, I think it has to do with something about being comfortable. Your body's like, man, come on. You're tossing and turning. You're trying to warm yourself up because your body slows down when it's sleeping. Everything, your metabolism, blood flow, heart rate. So you're setting yourself up to be cold in general, right?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor, and I don't want to give any misinformation over the internet.
I do think technically, like blood flow goes to your core. It's like when you get hypothermia. You know what I mean? Or like when you're stuck in a cold place, it leaves your extremities and goes to your core because those are your vital organs. So I think you're right.
Yeah, maybe that is it. Maybe it makes you toss and turn, so that like gives you a bad dream. So you'll toss and turn, so your body will be more active, so you'll get warmer. So yeah, just sleep in a fucking warm room. If you're cold or if you're hot, fucking kick the blanket off.
Yeah.
If you're not, pull the fucking blanket on.
But don't sleep in socks unless you're a psychopath.
Or have sex with socks on. That's fucking whack too.
Well, that's just for traction. That's different. There's a use. There's a fucking real world purpose there. You know, an application.
That's so.
Wait. Hold on. Now I'm perplexed.
Yeah, this is an OMG fact that we didn't know this was a +1. Go ahead.
Like I'm just trying to get the maneuver that requires traction.
There's a couple of them. There's a couple of them. Walls are vertical, so keeping your footwork, handy on those requires some grip. like to go to those children's jump zones and get a bunch of those socks. This is the blowing backs out.
Okay, all right, okay. See, the grippy socks I understand.
Alan doesn't. Alan used to steal shoes at bowling alleys. Now he goes to bounce houses and walks out with those puppies.
No such thing.
When I had my colonoscopy, they gave me these socks that were they don't fuck around. They're like, we know you're in a fucking like trippy state, so they're gripped. They got the little rubber grips on both the top and the bottom. There's no up or down. You just put those fuckers on. There's just grips everywhere.
Wait,
so I was like, can I keep these? They're like, yeah, we're just gonna burn them anyway. Like,
yeah,
all right,
we're throwing those away.
When wait, so they put you under, do the colonoscopy, and then they give you the socks afterwards? Is that the deal?
No.
Oh no! All I was wearing, like, they pulled like the little curtain. They're like, whoosh, put that stuff on. All it is a I don't know, man. It's the thinnest garment robe you can put on, and then these yellow ass grippy socks. That's all you get.
I guess I'm trying to figure out, why do you need grippy socks for them to put a camera in your butt?
I don't know. I guess if you trip out afterwards,
yeah.
Okay.
Like, and you start to walk around, they don't want you to fall.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I got some cool socks out of it. That's all I care about.
Did
you know?
Oh, go ahead. That's all right.
No, did you know sharing mascara is the most common way people pass on eye infections like pink eye?
I had heard such a thing. I think, like, if I'm not mistaken, I remember like a group of girls all getting pink eye in Frostburg, because of this.
I just thought they enjoyed farting at each other's faces this entire time.
You never know.
Wes, would you like to hypothesize why that is?
I mean, the why it happens.
Yeah, the whole gamut. I have a theory. I want to see if you get close to mine.
I mean, well, pink eye is wildly contagious. So my guess is that if any of the pus or whatever whatever gathers around the eye, even at a time when it's it's not apparent you have pink eye, if you're jamming this pencil or in or around that area, it's basically like swabbing something.
Wait, is mascara like the brushy thing, or is it the eyeliner thing?
believe it's the brushy thing.
Okay.
The eyeliner thing, I believe, is called eyeliner.
Okay.
I'm terrible. At fucking,
Well, see,
anything that
my
goes,
hypothesis.
anything that goes around your eye, okay, then gets passed on. I mean, that's the best.
Well, my theory on this is like mascara, it being the brushy thing. It's got a lot of surface area, right?
Yeah.
From a microbacterial standpoint.
Right.
Where do you keep your mascara? In the bathroom. Where do you have violent diarrhea that puts poop particles into the air? In the bathroom.
Yeah.
And so then, like, when you're sharing the mascara that you've kept in your shit box and you start passing it around and you got fucking poop particles on there,
Right.
then yeah, you're just rubbing fucking shit in each other's eyes.
And your lashes are doing what they're supposed to be doing, at least at that point. They're trying to keep that shit out of your eyes.
And here we are, just lathering shit into the eye.
I wonder what would be the dude, like reciprocal thing, like this. This is the most common spreader for jock itch.
No, maybe like deodorants. Maybe like I don't know. Like, I would like to do. Here we go. Here's a good research study. I would like to see the percentage of women who contract pink eye versus men, and then like ringworm for men to women. Because dudes like to get all sweaty and rub up against each other.
Ringworm was like a big wrestling fucking.
I was like,
That's what I mean. But I would imagine that means that dudes get more ringworm than women, and that women obviously get more fucking pink eye than fucking men. Because we don't really do shit with our eyes. I mean, I don't know. Then again, we do scratch our ass a lot and then rub our own eye.
Gotta be mindful of that.
Yeah.
For me, brown eye to brown eye. That'd be my
My hypothesis was these hoes dirty, but I think yours is probably more scientifically accurate.
These hoes dirty.
So yeah, I'm with it.
And that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
Yeah,
Beautiful mascara, fucking slanging. What else do we have on there? It's some great cockroaches being beauty products, right? All right, okay.
Oh, that's what it is cockroaches eat poop.
Yeah,
and then they use it as fucking eye glitter, and that's how they get fucking
right.
And then they put on their mascara and then they pass it off.
That's Egyptians only, though.
Yeah, specifically Egyptian.
We're going to get into our quick picks. We're going to announce it on the podcast. We had a little bit of a snafu. We're going to email those who are in the actual contest for the Middle Classholes playoff pick'ems. We're going to let you all know who's in the lead, how you can continue to participate. We apologize. There's a few that didn't make it. Technical difficulties. All right. Now I can see why Trump thought the election was stolen. All right. Now I can see why. All right. We messed something up.
Yep.
Okay, coming in at number 1 from last week's game is Alan, who picked all fucking 6. Congratulations, Alan. Myself at 5 points. Murr got 2 correct, but that's okay. Listen, we got 3 more rounds. The points go up to 1.5 for week 2, the divisional round. Alan, rather than you going first at number 1 seat in the early lead here in the polls. We're going to let you pick where you want to pick these games. First, second, or third.
No, I'll pick last.
You'll pick last. Okay, you'll go third. Okay. I'm at number 5. I'm going to go first. I want to go first. I already have my picks here, and I'll explain why. So Murray, you're going to go second. I'm going to go third. Okay. All right. First up, Saturday's games. Tennessee hosting Cincinnati. Tennessee, the number 1 seed, will host Joe Burrow and all that cash. I just think Cincinnati's playing really well. They showed me a lot. I think Burrow and Chase and that team is going to bring the fucking noise. They're going to go. I like Tennessee. I like the way that Vrabel has ran that team. It just doesn't scream number 1 seed to me. It just doesn't scream. I think this week off hurt them. I think Cincinnati plays well. I'm taking Cincinnati in the upsets. Next, San Francisco at Green Bay. I think the San Francisco train did what it needed to do in Dallas. They got Deebo Samuel, and they got that whole. They tried to lose at Dallas. They were winning, then they tried to lose, and it took a really fucking wanky ass play call to lose that game. Why Why they did that, beyond me. But I'm taking Green Bay at home. On Sunday, the LA Rams go all the way to Tampa Bay. Fucking hell, man. This is going to kill me. Tom Brady has done me dirty so many times. But listen, LA was the number one seed or the number one team for like the first half of the season. They got some injuries. They slowed down a little bit. They're in a tough division, but they showed me a lot. They showed me a lot week one. I think that team goes into Tampa and has the upset on the road. I'm going LA Rams. Last game, Buffalo at Kansas City. Listen, Kansas City had their troubles for a long time. I think they're peaking at the right time. They busted up Pittsburgh in Ben Roethlisberger's swan song. Andy Reid's dialing up a play plan. I'm going to have to believe it to see it with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. I'm going Kansas City at home. Those are my picks. Mr. Murr.
All right. Well, yeah, look, I've denied the Bengals for far too long, so I'm taking the Bengals over the Titans. Okay. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers, MVP of the league against the 49ers. That was the slowest bleed of a win that I've ever seen with that 49ers-Cowboys game. It was almost depressing. I wanted the Cowboys to win that game just because they let them stay in it so goddamn long. Anyway, without getting into the politics of the game, 49ers, their train, as you said, has been derailed. It's over. Packers win that game. The Rams and the Buccaneers. The Bucks. The Buck don't stop here. And as far as the Bills and the Chiefs go, I love Pat Mahomes. I love Andy Reid. I'm not saying it's the Bills' year, but I'm saying it's the Bills' game. So I'm taking the Bills over the Chiefs.
All right. Alan, with 6 correct picks in 6 games last week, you should have done a parlay. Well, actually, you can't pick winners. You got to pick spreads as well. Do a parlay successfully. So we won't go there, but you have the stage, brah.
So yeah, first game, I'm going Cincinnati as well. I agree with you, Wes. They're just playing too good. And I don't respect Tennessee. I think they're a weak ass 1 seed, in my opinion. Where they have 11 wins, must have fucking down near in the AFC. That's how you know. Fucking terrible. So yeah, Cincinnati. I got Cincinnati all over them. San Francisco, Green Bay. Yeah, San Francisco never travels to fucking Lambeau Field in January. Well, so we're gonna go with Green Bay on that one. Plus, Rodgers loses in the NFC Championship games. He's got one more. So we're good to go there. Green Bay. I am agreeing with you. I think Los Angeles is going to fucking give the upset to fucking Brady. This might be that. Maybe this is the fucking defensive front that, really settles into that onset of osteoporosis for Tom Brady. Like, you know what I mean?
He's going to be joining Flutie and Frank Thomas here in a couple ad campaigns.
Yeah, he's going to be on the Eugenics commercial quick and with a hurry. Don't you worry about that one. So Los Angeles, I think, is gonna take the upset here. They're playing really well. And Buffalo, Kansas City. Fuck the Mahomes brothers. I'm going fucking Josh Allen. I think it's Bills Mafia time all day. That team's nasty. That team is very good. I mean, Kansas City put it on Pittsburgh, but let's be frank. Pittsburgh didn't really need to be there. So now they get a real team. Yes, Kansas City's at home. Tough place to play, but the Bills know what it is to play in the cold. I think it's going to be a fun. That's the game of the week, in my opinion.
I think so. It's not a coincidence that, I think they had, you had to do AFC, NFC, and because they did Saturday, Sunday, Monday games last week, you have to, certain teams couldn't play. You couldn't have like a Monday night game and then play on Saturday. That's going to be a barn burner. Sunday night or Sunday
late afternoon.
Sunday late afternoon. I agree with you. All right, we'll keep track of it. And again, for those of you who did get your picks in, we'll send an update. We'll get you the leaders, and we'll send out a reminder for you to fill out these games as well. $50 to the winner, as well as some free swag from our good friends at Oliver Brewing right here in Baltimore, Maryland. Thank you. Lastly, before we go, Murr had alluded to it earlier about glitter everywhere. January 11th, 2 Florida women who were facing felony charges after allegedly penetrating pun intended. 3 a.m. glitter attack on a male victim. So Sarah Franks and Caitlin O'Donovan, roommates out of Clearwater, Florida. It didn't say why. It just said that they attacked this gentleman named Jacob. It's Colon, C-O-L-O-N, and Murr. You may be good friends with him. They began arguing while he was standing in his fenced-in balcony. Then it was just a barrage of glitter bombs. Each threw a container of glitter at Colon, who was struck, quote, in the upper torso and head, went back into his apartment, got hit more. And it was about 5 glitter bombs. They just didn't happen to have, I mean, these people didn't have glitter bombs handy. It's not like, hey, I'm carrying around a glitter bomb. It was like, we're going to throw these guys down. This is preemptive, right? This is malicious intent, correct?
You mean premeditated?
Yeah, I mean, you didn't just happen to have glitter bombs handy and like, yeah, we're going to go fuck with this guy. I mean, it was in the organization stages of this attack. They were like, we're going to throw glitter bombs at this guy. I mean, it was 4 of them.
Okay, well, let me just say this, Wesley. Knowing all of the nonsense that we participated in our youth, like, I just happen to have a water balloon launcher, and you just happen to have like a 50-pack of water balloons, and we terrorized portions of your parents' neighborhood. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, we had the means and the ability, and we did it. So with that said, like, I don't know. Like, maybe they just had a shit ton of glitter and they found a victim.
Okay. So it was like, yeah, we're next person we see is getting the business.
Yeah. That's all I could, that's the only thing I can hypothesize without knowing the guy. Alan?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the strongest bet. I don't know if you've met a lady with glitter at her disposal, but most of them are keen to use it as an offensive weapon. So it's not so. This isn't surprising at all. Yeah, there's just some unsuspecting Chad, and he got destroyed by some girls with glitter bombs. And like, you can't weaponize glitter. You can't make them into bombs. That's just prime fucking. That's just asking for females to just kill you with some glitter, give you the art herpes,
yeah,
if you will.
So okay, this is where it doesn't necessarily say whether or not this gentleman knew who they were, because okay, they attack him outside of his apartment, they follow him in his apartment and attack him more. And I'm just thinking, like, oh, what's this? Like, God, can this guy not fucking protect himself? He's just getting glitter bombed by 2 broads. But then it says they kicked out a window, and that's how they escaped, because the open door that they glitter bombed him through was just far too convenient. Kick out the poor guy's window. It says, since it appears Colin was able to identify his assailants, police arrested Franks and O'Donovan about an hour later after the glitter attack. So, I mean, when you say you're able to identify, that means you know who they are, or does that mean they got in front of a stand-up, all, usual suspect style? Give me the fucking glitter, you motherfucker! And he was like, that was them.
We just look for the sparkly ones. There's no way to get glitter out of anything.
Well, that's what cops said, that when they showed up, they observed glitter was in the inside of the vehicle. So, where there's
and it
fire.
It doesn't take much glitter to bomb somebody. I mean, like,
it does not.
Like, they literally sell like a small vial of glitter, and that, I mean, I don't have a lot of glitter uses in my life, but a small vial of glitter, I imagine, would last me years, decades, maybe. So to get bombed with glitter, I mean, that's, yeah, I don't know. I mean, what do you need, like a fistful, couple fistfuls? That's all the bombing it takes.
I would assume it's like
a golf ball. Probably.
Yeah, I would assume it's like an antiquing, size.
No, God, you'll kill somebody with that much glitter, bro. It's way too much glitter.
Way too much.
Kelly still got vials of glitter from like when I met her. It's like 12, 13 years.
But question though, for what?
Nothing. Crafts.
Yeah.
She likes craft. She crafts stuff.
Apparently not with enough glitter if she still has it.
No, with glitter. That's what, like, that's to Murr's point. This shit's like, it's like food coloring, bro. You know, you're just like a drop, and that's it. That's all you need, and it turns like three gallons of fucking frosting blue. Like that's the same thing. It's the equivalent, but with glitter.
Okay.
It's terrible.
Have you ever seen those glitter bomb videos where people actually mail like tubes of spring-loaded glitter bombs to people to open in like their office?
You mean like as a prank?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you send somebody, like you send your boss and it looks like a tube that probably has like a official document in it that they need to read. It's been like gently folded, not folded, but like rolled into a tube, and then they open it and this glitter bursts everywhere.
I have not seen that, but I okay.
You can get penis glitter.
Oof, yeah,
that's the first time I had seen the glitter bomb. Was like, I think girls were doing them for like bachelorette stuff. It was penis glitter.
Sexy time?
Well, I hope not. That sounds dangerous. If you get glitter that big, you start getting razor sharp edges. You're definitely going to need your grippy socks for that.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I haven't seen what you were referring to, Mark. But what I have seen is one person made it famous. A number of people have done it since then, but it's someone who sets up a contraption for people who rob Amazon packages or delivery packages. And basically they make this like giant contraption. Once you unbox it, it just shoots a bunch of glitter and fart spray at you. Have you seen those videos?
Oh yeah, I've seen those videos.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Okay. Those are great, by the way. Those are phenomenal.
Fucking poop spray? That would be terrible.
Yeah, I mean, well, don't fucking rob fucking packages that aren't yours. You deserve it. What do you want me to say? You want to be nice about it? Dickheads. All right. Well, these ladies, they face some pretty hefty charges. A felony charge of burglary with assault or battery. And then the assailant or her cohort is also charged with criminal mischief for allegedly breaking the gentleman's window. $75,000 bond.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, the one looks like she could be a stripper, so she might have glitter on hand. The other one looked like a stripper's friend, so she might have just been an accomplice.
Like a cocktail waitress here.
Yeah, the one on the left, she's stripper hot.
Right.
The one on the right's best friend hot.
That's not a hair bun, by the way. That's dyed hair.
That's like I don't know. The one on the right's like a McDougal's hot. I mean, it's
yeah. I mean, for frame of reference, that's a strip club in Pasadena, Maryland. So the criteria to get a Tuesday 4 to 6 shift is pretty low.
Just a C-section scar.
That's all. But I understand. Yeah, I mean, she's a stripper. She's a cocktail waitress, and like, hey, we know this fucking cat Jake, and we're gonna blow him up with fistfuls of glitter. I guess. I gotta like break down the construction of a glitter bomb. I mean, what is it carefully crafted in the back of their house with tools and beakers and hot plates and things like that, or is it something you buy 5 get the 6 free?
I think it might just be a fistful of glitter. I think that's all you might be looking at here.
So then they had satchels. They had small, like burlap sacks tied to their waist full of glitter. I mean, they threw multiples at them.
I'm gonna send you a glitter bomb video because you don't seem to be quite grasping like how easy it is to just glitter bomb somebody.
Okay, my immediate question is, if it seems so easy, why the hell was this guy assaulted? I don't see like antiquing as being assaulted. And
because he's a bitch.
Oh, okay. That's all I wanted to hear.
He's a bitch, and he found an opportunity to make a bunch of money off of being like glitter bombed. That's it.
All right.
I mean, look, he wasn't assaulted. It's just like, hey, fuck this. Here's my opportunity. It's like anybody who's been like gently rear-ended at a traffic light, and they're like, oh God, here's my chance.
Do you think maybe
when will I get this?
he was cool with it? Not cool, but he was okay with it until they kicked his window out, and maybe that was like, well, fuck you.
I think he was okay with it after the first glitter bomb's like, hey, you guys want to hang out and do some weird funky shit with some grippy socks?
You guys want to have a threesome? That's what this means, right?
And then they were like, no,
socks.
and they threw the second glitter bomb, and then he got a little agitated, and then they kicked his window out, and he was like, fuck this, I'm going to make $1 million. I think that's how that went.
Sorry, I blew the, that was a great plug-in on the grippy socks. I apologize for interrupting. So,
It's all right. It's okay.
Okay. All right, well, we'll see. We'll follow up. We'll see where these ladies go. It's funny, man. We gotta vet these more for asking for a friend, because we're gonna have Adam on a little more regularly. This is a good asking for a friend segment. We'll see what the future holds for Miss Frank and Miss O'Donovan. All right, Alan, tell the boys and girls and all the childrens where you can find the Middle Classholes.
Fucking internet. Excuse me. Yeah, you can find us, of course, on all your favorite social media platforms. We're on Instagram and Twitter as @MDL Classholes. You can find us on Facebook as The Middle Classholes, our favorite platform. And of course, for your listening pleasures, oh shit, let me not forget about TikTok. We're on TikTok as well @Middle Classholes. Check us out doing stuff and things on the TikToks with the youths of our generation. And of course, for your listening pleasure, you can always check us out on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And of course, please email us. You must email us all the time at tickleourtummies@gmail.com. That's right. Send us in some stuff. I don't know. We got week 2 picks. The forum will be live. I'll put it up tomorrow morning. I guess we'll hold off for that. So those of you participating in our challenge, like Wes said, keep an eye out for that. Some of you should have gotten an email from Tickle Our Tummies about some of your picks. Let us know if you got those. If you didn't, then cool. That's all for me.
Yeah, I think JFK Jr. submitted a pick, so
yeah, JFK Jr. is definitely in there. Fucking 100%.
And we do, in fact, have an email this week at tickleourtummies@gmail.com. Of course, it's coming from Brother Dewey Love. He says, hey, jerks. I wanted to expand on something brought up in last week's installment where Murr talked about taking my Jamie Thomas trucker hat a few months before Ashton Kutcher kicked off the early 2000s trucker hat fad by wearing one on Punk'd. Murr was ahead of the trend on that one, but only because I was ahead of the trend, which was ahead of him. But you never wore the trucker hat there, Dewey, which is why you told me I could have it. And he stole the fucking hat from me. I think his girlfriend at the time tried to hide it from him or throw it away because he wore it so much, but that's another story. And that is absolutely true. I actually had to find it on the side of a road somewhere.
Jesus.
Which, she was not happy about.
Yeah, this isn't the woman you married, right?
No, not the woman I married. More to the point, though, there's another much more funnier example of Murr being ahead of the curve on something. Around the time of that Destiny Child song Bootylicious, which came out in 2002, I think, the same era as the trucker hats, we were sitting in the basement of my parents' place, and Murr claimed to have coined the phrase Bootylicious, or at least he'd started using it years before Beyonce and company put it to song. I had to remind him that Snoop Dogg had beat him to the punch about a decade before, quote, those rhymes you was kicking was quite bootylicious. At which Murr said, yeah, shit, never mind then. So anyway, he wanted to see if I remember this. Yes, I do in fact remember that. One of my original email addresses was bootylicious@hotmail.com.
Thank you, Brother Dewey Love, for your submissions. And I also like to point out a gentleman named Anthony Tyler Casterson, and then B. White on YouTube commented on our video today to remember and recognize the fact today is Ice Cube's Good Day date. They went to our video and said, hey, just a heads up, today is Happy Good Day date. So
yeah, we should share that.
The Lakers
should share that today.
The Lakers beat the Supersonics, and I've got a beat from Kim, and she can fuck all night. And folks, of course, if you get caught manufacturing, selling, or purchasing a fake COVID vaccination card, I hope a splinter just drives your dick hole or clitoris into some sort of foul, gangrenous state.
That's so violent.
I love you all. I'm a patriot. Good night.
I'm a patriot.